So I did finding a major to study in college. And first I was kind of thinking of different like decisions I could do. And I was thinking like mainly my focus was like college in general, but I wanted to kind of narrow it down more specifically rather than just like kind of what college should I go to. So I did finding a major to study, and then that was part of what I wanted to achieve, and then just being content and satisfied with my decision, and then, like, deciding kind of what careers, like, this might lead to, like, what careers I might be interested in related to the major, and, I said that it was challenging because I'm interested in a lot of different things, and I haven't had much time to, like, research or experience different, like, jobs or majors, or, like, I haven't really had a class that I, like, absolutely love. And so, for the alternatives, I talked about like picking a major with a broad category, or just like choosing a school with like many majors and like different flexibility. Approaching it creatively, I was talking about maybe pursuing an internship like related to a specific major, or talking to like friends I know that are in college and kind of like interviewing them about what their major is and how like they like it or what they think about it. And I liked this because I hadn't really thought about like different approaches to think of it creatively. Like I feel like when I'm making a decision, I'm very like tunnel minded. So I thought like the alternatives was probably the hardest part for me. So I put that as my like weakest link, but it was also probably the most helpful for me too. And then for the information part, I had like some questions. And I said, like, am I allowed to easily change my major? Like, is it harder to get into certain colleges based on certain majors? Like, how am I confident in the major I decide? And like, how important will this kind of be in my future? And I thought of some people I could talk to, like college counselors, teachers, and parents. And then also, one that I hadn't thought about before that this packet kind of helped me come up with was like maybe different peers, like people who, like how I was saying earlier, like kind of interviewing people on like what their majors are, like people who had similar interests to me. And then I was kind of unsure about like what will keep me interested for a long period of time, and making sure that I like choose something that I can be confident in, and also like that will lead to a lot of job opportunities. And then for my sources, I said that all of them are pretty trustworthy, except my parents and teachers might not know like exactly what interests me. And then also like my counselor, like they might, like I'm the only one that really knows what interests myself, but they can maybe kind of help guide me. But ultimately, I realized like the decision's up to me, and I can talk to other people, but like it's going to be my decision. I just need to make sure like I kind of gather the resources to make that decision. The frame just it helped me to kind of just like summarize what everything I was thinking about. And so like what decisions do I face? Like what should I major in? What does this major entail? How confident will I be in my choice? And then again, just like parents, college counselor, teachers, and previous students, or like students currently enrolled in majors that I might like. And then deadline, I apply for schools in like August, so I should probably know what I want to major in to pick certain schools by then. And what is at stake? I realize that there's kind of a lot at stake. It's a pretty big decision because it's gonna like kind of determine what schools I go to, because I'm gonna pick a school that probably has like a good department of what I want to major in, and also to lead to different career options. So I want to be sure that I can pick a major that gives me good accessibility to different careers once I'm done with college. And what do I want? I want to be successful in a job that I enjoy, and also pick a major that I enjoy and that I find interesting for a long period of time, because I'm probably going to be stuck in it for 4 more years. And if I pursue a job related to that major, then it's going to be even longer. So I want to make sure that there's a lot that I can do with that major. And I want to avoid getting stuck in a decision trap and stuck in a major that I'm unhappy with, and then also choosing one that maybe isn't flexible like as time goes on. The decision chain I thought was very helpful because originally when I was kind of watching the videos, it was kind of hard for me to like wrap my head around like all the different links kind of separately. But this helped like me to see like all the differences between them, and then also to identify like which one was my weakest link, which I thought was creative alternatives, just because I hadn't really thought about a lot of alternatives before, and I feel like I could definitely brainstorm some more. But I liked how this made me think more about different alternatives, like talking to other people, maybe talking to professors at different schools and asking them about like what their classes are like and seeing like how the workload is because those are all decisions that would impact what major I want to do. I believe that I'm fit to decide, but maybe not quite ready because I feel like I still need to gather some more info on my own. But I feel like by using these tools and mostly just creating more alternatives, then I could be ready to decide pretty soon. And so my commitments were to gather more information about what I'm interested in. Kind of maybe I wrote down specifically like to make a list of things that interest me and then try to kind of compare that with schools that have different majors and just try to find what the options are. And then after that, to talk to people maybe who are in those career fields or who have taken or who took those majors in college. I liked picking, like, the commitments because I always have, like, a to-do list or, like, a checklist of things I need to do, so I feel like that kind of gave me some like, kind of, like, some steps to do, and then also for the steps, that was pretty similar, just finding majors that interest me, and then I gave myself some dates to do that. I said, like, this week, and then further research careers in schools next month, and then find schools that specialize in these majors before July. And I liked giving myself kind of like time constraints because then I know that I won't put off the decision and it'll force me to kind of think about it more and then try to add to my alternatives and try to add to my values kind of as time goes along, but also knowing that I don't have all the time in the world to make the decision. Yeah, it made a lot more sense than I would have thought initially. I thought it was kind of gonna be like an overload of information, but it really helped to like break it down and then also like relate it to each level of the chain. And then after like thinking about it, I could really like tell which one was my weakest link and like if I was fit to decide or ready to decide. It was super helpful like to add like the example one too. And I thought that was like very helpful for like my first time because I was looking at what this one said and kind of like basing it onto my decision. Probably most likely like science or engineering related. I feel like I would like to like at least kind of have like an idea of one or two that I would like just because I feel like I'd rather go to a school that kind of specializes in maybe like that major. Like if it's like a science major, maybe they have more like lab facilities than like if it was like an engineering major that might be like a little more like hands-on or something. One of my like alternatives was kind of just like trying to wait it out and maybe like go in like undecided and then figure it out later, but I feel like that might stress me out more, like, not knowing. I feel like I'd rather just kind of commit to something and stick with it. Well, there's not much flexibility, and then I could get stuck doing something that I don't really like and not really have a way out.